So Poncho,
Ramsey.
I called you over here tonight
You did.
to do what?
Oh, we watched the Bethesda E3 thing.
We did. We watched the E3 for Bethesda because we're both fans.
We enjoyed different things.
Yeah,
for different reasons.
Yeah. But I took notes. We started out with Bethesda guy came out.
Yeah.
Right?
With the Caps. Go Caps, I guess.
I suppose. And
It's for hacky.
they're the number 1 ranked publisher.
Yeah.
That's
apparently.
That's a whole thing.
Way to go, guys. Take that, EA.
That's great.
Take that, Activision.
And apparently Walmart sucks and leaked their Rage 2 announcement a little early.
Yeah.
And they were a little salty about that.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was cute.
It's cute.
And then Andrew WK came out.
Yeah. Cold open Andrew WK is my favorite thing. Andrew WK came out and he's like, yeah, how's everybody doing? Nobody knew who the hell he was. And then they like,
I didn't recognize
the
him.
only reason I knew who he was is because they played like like background music of the track that he was about to play, which is the only track anybody knows Andrew WK plays. But yeah, they were getting a party going with the loud clavinova.
Yeah. And there was an unimpressed Asian gentleman. In the
Yeah,
audience.
at least one.
At least one.
At least one. That dude was high.
Yeah. Then people were not.
You
expecting
have to
that.
be high not to want to party with Andrew WK.
I wasn't quite buzzed yet.
I just loved cold open Andrew WK.
Right, that
Like
was
that's
fine.
just out of nowhere. They got a party going.
Eventually, we got some guys out. We got Tim Willits and Magnus Nedford.
Big Cass.
And
It looked like Enzo Amore and Big Cass out there.
it was odd. And they talked about Rage 2. Rage 2 looks great to me. I played Rage. I don't know why I ended up picking that game up. It looked pretty, but it didn't seem like it was in my wheelhouse. But when it came up, I played the hell out of it. It was gorgeous. It took 2 discs on I guess it was on the 360 for me to get through it.
Wow.
It was intensive.
I remember seeing that game, but I never actually played it.
It's fun. I'm very much looking forward to Rage 2. Of all the things that we saw gameplay wise, that's the one I'm most looking forward to playing because
You're crazy.
I like driving around with vehicles with guns on them and blowing up other vehicles.
I think that gameplay trailer took too long. Like there was a lot of time spent in one particular area where you're just going through killing a bunch of dudes, or character's going through killing a bunch of dudes, and it's just like, all right, like we just watched a minute and a half of him killing the same guys in the same area, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's different areas.
There was a lot of it.
Hard cuts.
Yeah, I think it was more or less based on people who played the original Rage and wanted to see how the gameplay had changed. So they wanted to see the fast-paced combat. They wanted to see the powers. That was an interesting little.
Did they have
tweak.
powers in the first Rage?
I don't remember them having powers. You
pretty
had different weapons and stuff, so they have a little bit of Bioshock.
Yeah, that's
going
what it was.
on, possibly.
Yeah, I liked how in the trailer he's like, yeah, he's feeling all hot and all haughty because of his super strength, and then something that's clearly stronger than him comes and punches him back.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. Maybe I was waiting for. They didn't do it, so the game is not as cool as I would have imagined it to be. But I was waiting for the big thing to come and him be like, ah, and like catch the hand. That would have been amazing.
No, because it's that much stronger than him.
Yeah, it just killed him. He just died. But he had a save point.
You just got squished.
But I'm excited. That's the game I'm most excited for. And I know what we should do. Instead of going through the time here, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the elephants in the room.
Okay.
The super exciting future announcements.
The Carlsberg elephant.
The Carlsberg
lager?
elephant. That's a Krabby's ginger. Don't make that face at a Krabby's. I will punch you right in your fucking face. I will punch you right in your fucking face. I think it's max. That's a max Fs because they did three total F-bombs, 3 or 4 F-bombs.
Yes, there were 3 F-bombs.
Yeah.
Those guys are so adult.
They're super cool. That's why I do it too.
Yeah.
But at the end, they announced Elder Scrolls 6 was the last thing they announced.
Because
No location. Identified. A generic
clearly
vista,
clearly a temperate climate.
generic castle.
With water, seas perhaps, or perhaps lakes.
It was meaningless. There was nothing interesting about that shot.
I have a feeling like it almost feels like somebody did it for a bet. Like I bet you guys aren't going to put Elder Scrolls 6. He's like, watch this, $50. They put 5 seconds of Elder Scrolls 6 up there.
They have nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing is done.
No characters.
No idea.
No models.
Not a single thing.
It was Elder Scrolls 6 over like green space and ESO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even. I mean, it almost looked like it could have just been they just rendered like someplace in Ireland or Wales, and they're just like, meh, there we go, and done. We're never gonna do it. It's the future. 2026 is when they'll get around to it.
Yeah.
And then they announced the thing that I'm excited about as well, Starfield, which was rumored. I think that was rumored. I don't know where it leaked, but there was rumors about them doing a big
I like
sci-fi adventure, open worldy in the vein and mechanics, hopefully, of something like the Elder Scrolls and
I like
and
that.
Fallout.
Ever since we lost Mass Effect, we lost kind of our far-flung future space opera
Too soon.
action RPG. So I'm looking forward to that.
It hurts. That still hurts.
Although, do you think it's going to be in the same vein of the action RPG as a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls, or do you think it's going to be more of a different genre of game,
Like a starship
Eve
online type thing, or a big space fighter?
I mean, like this is what we know about Starkiller: space, starfish satellite, warp travel.
maybe, or that
Also
was just
a large
creative
planet.
editing. We don't know.
Yeah.
My hope to differentiate it is to give us an action adventure game in the vein of like Fallout, with some sort of shooting mechanics with weaponry and such, but have actual spaceships, like starfighter combat. But I think that since they didn't show a starfighter, I think the idea of perhaps just being in space, and I think it makes more sense for them from a game design perspective to limit what the player can physically do as far as hopping between planets. Like, you have to get on a shuttlecraft, or you have to get on a thing to move from this next thing, and you're kind of constrained. I hope it's not on just one planet.
No, I don't think it's going to be.
I would like it to be
There was a satellite, and it went to warp space.
That could have been the satellite that takes you to the one planet that you're at for the whole game. Anyway, there was nothing to talk about.
No.
That's why I wanted to bring them up, because it's exciting that they're working on these things, but this was their opportunity to show us something. There's nothing to show.
Yeah.
So it's way too early.
Okay, we talk about the cool stuff now?
Was there any cool stuff?
Yes!
Well, you're of course referring to Elder Scrolls Legends, the best digital card game in
Sure.
existence.
Yeah. It's voted best digital card game for Apple.
It kind of I mentioned while we were watching it, I'm kind of excited that you can, if you're playing it on the mobile or on PC, your progress actually will transfer to the consoles when they release, which is something that other games haven't done.
Why do you need to play a digital card game on a console?
You don't. You don't.
That's where real games are played.
You don't. But there has been a few times when I was trying out Gwent that I was sitting in on my laptop, and I wanted to kind of fuck around with it on my laptop, and then later on I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if I could play it on PS4? And my card collection didn't transfer.
Yes,
it wasn't
because
linked to an
that's where
account.
real games are played.
But if you're gonna have the option, you definitely should have it to where you have one account with all of your progress on the account and not linked to like a separate console. That being said, who knows what's going to happen when it drops on the PS4?
Absolutely.
Maybe Sony will be like, "No, you can't have it." linked
Yeah,
to
we want to protect our users' data, so we're not going to let
yeah.
you crossplay with anything.
Elder Scrolls Online is a thing. I enjoy ESO now since it went one Tamriel. I've been having fun. I've gotten back into it. I mentioned it to you before.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. I don't have a lot of time for a ton of video games, but it is the one I keep going back to. Maybe I'll get to level 50 someday, and I'll finish the core content and move on to all the DLC I purchased.
It looks like a lot of fun. You almost got me into it.
I don't even really need it.
The problem is like I really enjoyed Skyrim, and I liked Skyrim because a lot of the kind of grindy stuff didn't feel super grindy, but I still feel like if you go into an MMO, like that grindy stuff's going to be there, and it's going to be worse, and they're going to call that difficulty, and they're going to call that length of play.
It's not. Well, I don't really want to turn this into an Elder Scrolls Online discussion, but the one Tamriel change, when they changed the entire structure of the game, and they stopped the level progression, the theme park MMO progression, where this is the level 1 through 15 area, this is the level blah 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 area, and you have to progress through. Really, since everything now scales to your character's level, no matter where you are in the game, you can just go play whatever you want. So even though you are just there's a bunch of quests, you can just ignore a bunch of quests and go do quests somewhere else and just play those because they're more fun, or something sounds interesting. It's like, I'm going to travel across want to get in a boat and go over here, and then you just get lost doing something somewhere else. That's the way Elder Scrolls should be, and they finally eventually got it to feel that way. It's still, you don't have quite the open control of your character and the progress that you have in a true Elder Scrolls game, though. as an old school fan, or at least somewhat old school fan, I still am a little salty. I don't think that you do have control over your characters anymore. Skyrim is not as good as Oblivion, which is not as good as Morrowind. But that being said, they're doing. I am old. They're doing a new dungeon, and they're going back to Black Marsh down the road.
Yeah,
I like Targaryen.
Dinosaur people.
The world of Elder Scrolls is generic fantasy as it kind of seems on the outside. The actual lore of these races are so fleshed out, and they're really interesting. I mentioned before that all the Wood Elves are cannibals, and they eat people.
That's what they do.
They don't eat other Wood Elves, but they certainly eat all the other races. They're just animals as far as Wood Elves are concerned. So that's those little tidbits.
And I was saying how the cat people in Elder Scrolls are the only cat people that I ever want to have as a race.
Yeah,
of a character.
They're sweet
because they're gypsies, and everybody else sucks.
I guess that's why. That being said, the lore is good. ESO does the lore really well, which still makes it really interesting to go and play. And it's technically free. You buy it. There's no monthly subscription. If you feel like buying the DLC content, there's sales all the time. It's worth it. I'm a fan. I'm glad they're still doing it. I'm glad it's doing well. That's all there really is to say about it. They didn't have any major announcements or anything like that.
Straight up.
Doom.
I
didn't play the new Doom.
I'm too young.
I played the old Doom.
I'm about a generation too late to have really got in on the ground floor of Doom.
I don't think that matters to the new Doom. The new Doom is just a space marine killing demons.
That's true. I still feel late to the party.
Right. Well, it got me the level of excitement around that IP has got me thinking maybe I should actually play the new Doom. So maybe I will. But I have no real comment other than if you want to know more about Doom, show up to QuakeCon in Dallas in August.
Yeah.
Because they didn't talk about it.
Same thing with Quake.
Quake pretty much.
Hey, look at these guys. These guys are going to be at QuakeCon.
I was never a big fan of Quake. But it looks like
I think I played one match of Quake in my entire life.
Quake looks Quake-ish.
It looks awful Quakey.
It looks like Quake, so if you like Quake...
Guys exploding the green little things, yeah.
All the characters look
Quake it up.
Like Quake characters. Esports.
Cool.
Prey is a thing. They did a cute little thing.
Very cool. Those people I thought died, and
They're
then they
dead.
didn't.
They're all mimics.
They're mimics.
You can't stick a sticker on a mimic after you're both mimics.
Yeah. Prey is one of the games that I kind of feel bad about missing this year. A lot of people had a lot of fun with it. It looks like a fun, rich a first-person single-player experience, and now they're changing that into being a multiplayer experience.
Moon Crash.
Moon Crash. Crash on the moon.
They have new modes. I don't care. It looks good. I'm glad they're still doing it.
Yeah. No, a lot of people really like that game.
Wolfenstein is also doing a thing.
Yeah. My first thought. So the new Wolfenstein. They're coming with a new Wolfenstein experience where it's co-op and you're Blazkowicz's daughters. Mm-hmm. And they have southern accents, and that just seems weird for people with the last name.
I didn't play the last Wolfenstein. Did he hook up with the Southern Belle?
I don't know. They're going to make Wolfenstein into 3D, which means you can kill dogs in 3D.
Oh, they're making it VR.
VR. That's what I meant. VR. They're gonna make it, you can kill dogs in VR.
Just like Papa.
Papa. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there has something coming out with wolves. In Wolfenstein, you're killing wolves.
It's the Wolf Killer Simulator.
Yeah.
Fuck those Nazis.
Yeah.
Fuck those Nazis.
They got two of the F words.
We've already surpassed their F words.
And there was a guy named Yerk.
Oh man, Yerk.
Yerk and Yins.
Spelled Jerk.
I mean, spelled how it is.
Jerk.
Yep.
Sounds like jerk.
What else we got?
And then here's the big thing for you, and that's Fallout 76.
Absolutely. I'm actually excited.
I am slightly I'm a little excited, maybe. I don't know.
No, see, the thing here is, what almost got me into Elder Scrolls Online is that I enjoyed Skyrim. And one of the reasons I enjoyed Skyrim is because it sated my action RPG palette until Fallout 4 came out. And I played Fallout 4 and I really enjoyed Fallout 4. I enjoyed Fallout 3 quite a bit. And I think I kind of want to play Fallout 3 again. But
you should play New Vegas instead.
I beat New Vegas. Fallout 76 sounds like they're doing some really cool stuff. It's not. It's an MMO, but
it's more of just an MO.
I suppose. Yeah.
Dozens.
Like 12 people or so.
Dozens. So more than 12. It's like several.
But like they're not going to have servers. They're going to be dedicated
servers. You won't log into servers, so you won't feel like you're jumping into an MMO necessarily.
That's pretty cool.
Elder Scrolls Online, I guess.
That's pretty cool, and it looks like a small, almost like a Division style multiplayer experience where you're looking at like groups of 3 or 4 people doing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in West Virginia. But I like that. I like that kind of MMO feel, and you got guns and
tricentennial celebration.
Yeah, I don't think that's the word they used.
That was on the. They'd use a different word, but it was on the actual Vault Tech.
And Ron Perlman.
Yes, it appears to be Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Or I mean, it's not like he's really busy, so I don't think he may have time. So it could have been an impersonator.
Yeah. No, but I'm really excited about that. That might actually get me over into the MMO side of games now.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's more survivally and it just throws in almost, and I hate to use the term, but Dark Souls, the idea that you have multiplayer that you won't always have to deal with, you won't always have to see that jackass jumping around on top of the water, on top of the fountain with a group of other people and all their pets, that sort of thing. Having it feel more like they're actually part of the world, and like randomly someone that you can't anticipate via AI is actually could snipe you from a distance and take all your stuff. I'm not sure how that works. I'm not sure if you can like loot another player because you keep all your progression.
Well, it looked like when he killed that, there's a scene in there where they killed presumably another player, and the person playing got like 1,300 caps. So he must have got something out of it. I don't think he got all the loot.
So you get like a reward.
You got some sort of reward, yeah.
But
they have they're building stuff anywhere. Like you apparently get a little portable builder.
Yeah,
and you can build shit. Yeah,
construction and mobile platform.
Something like that. I thought it was caps, but whatever. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm actually really excited for it. I mean, West Virginia's kind of an interesting place. There's a lot of really cool mines.
It's pretty. It looks like it wasn't super nuked.
It wasn't super nuked. I'm sure there's plenty of coal lying around, probably some meth labs. So it should be a lot of fun.
Coal-powered meth labs.
Coal-powered meth labs. Yeah. Oh, that's very retro future.
And then you can launch nuclear missiles at each other?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that too.
I don't know how that works.
I'm wondering how long it takes for that to become just a thing. You know, because like the first couple times, like, oh shit, all my stuff got nuked. That sucked. Those guys are dicks. And then after like 6 months in the game, they're gonna start coming out with equipment that like is nuke proof. You know,
I really don't know how it works. I was wondering, like, is it a permanent change? Because you're not online with everyone who's playing the game, so just some random people can nuke your stuff, or can you? It seems like you could nuke another person's camp.
Yeah,
is what they alluded to.
Yeah.
So
is it like ruin all that progression for them, or is that just their kind of like? Because I kept getting a bit of a Minecraft vibe off of it, because like you can build anything, anywhere, and all that stuff, which is kind of cool. They kind of introduce a little bit of that. Like building interesting, weird things that you'd never think about in Fallout 4. And so perhaps the nuke is just there to be TNT'd and like, oh, I don't want this anymore. Boom.
I guess there's not enough information on how that plays out. It seems like they thought about it quite a bit, so I'm sure it'll be balanced. The beta coming out.
Yeah.
The break it early test application.
I really want it to come like a PlayStation beta because I kind of want to play it really bad. And I have a feeling it's going to be like PC only and... You know,
it does seem a little intensive, so maybe it may not be consoles. I don't think they mentioned anything about console releases for it, or did they? It was on the Xbox show floor.
They showed Fallout 76 at the Microsoft conference, but who knows if it was supposed to be an Xbox or?
I don't know, but let's talk about the stand-up comedy that was happening.
Oh my God, Todd Howard, is that his name?
Yeah.
That dude got a lot of time up there, huh?
The noting the bugs. The thing that tickled me was the joke about the bugs. The fact that their stuff is never. And I've never had a personally.
Horses walking straight up mountains.
I've never like shit. Witcher 3 was full of Roach doing ridiculous stuff. Those games are full of bugs. I've always excused it. Those games. Morrowind was the game that made me realize that video games weren't dead for me. Like they could do the things that I had always imagined I wished they could do. And granted, now I just want more and more, and I want it to be better, and I want it to be more like an RPG. And I'm an old grognard, grumpy old man. But Bethesda is the studio that did that, and I don't think they've lost that magic. I don't think they've lost that drive. The people who were really imaginative are still there. They're just thinking about how are they going to get to this most people and get the most out of their IPs, and they're running a business. So
yeah,
it's all good.
The Fallout 76, the helmet. We gotta talk about the helmet.
I mean, there's not much to talk about.
It's a helmet.
To be honest with you, I'm more excited about the tiny little plastic figure pack, like the old dinosaur little package.
Yeah, that was weird too.
That was odd. It seemed
I think that was a big part of the whole Bethesda conference is like the extra little giggly bits, because it looked like for Rage they're gonna have like a Sammy the Talking Salmon
I don't think that's really a thing.
I think it's going to be a real
I don't.
thing.
Oh,
I
you think it's a real thing?
I think it's going to be a real thing.
$100 and something.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the $120 special edition of Rage
that.
2 with a Sammy the Talking Salmon creature head that sings like a.
I think that's a joke.
Like a bit of a mentally diminished human being. Yeah, I don't know. I think it could definitely be.
I suppose. But the helmet seems all right. It lights up.
It look cool. Yeah. I'm gonna take it camping.
Are you gonna get it?
I'm gonna take it camping.
Are you gonna buy the special edition with all your mad cash?
I might if there's enough cool stuff. Oh yeah, that's another thing that got one of the F words because the map that comes with the special edition glows in the dark.
Not just the dark, Poncho. The fucking dark. So, but that is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah,
that's neat. The game, honestly, I originally thought maybe it's like an MMO, and then when he started talking, I was like, oh, it's just another fucking Fallout game. And I said, I'm sick of Fallout. I don't want to play another single player Fallout. They're the games I've never beaten any of them. I played the crap ton of them, so they're not bad. I enjoyed all of the time, and I got bored and I stopped, and I didn't want to go back. But the multiplayer seems to be more like a legit multiplayer.
Yeah.
It reminds me, and it's probably, statistic based and may not even be hitbox based. Who knows how they actually do it? I've played multiplayer shooters online, stuff like of course Destiny, which you've seen, which it seems like this is about. Maybe it has a little bit more people, but it seems more like you mentioned it before, the TV show. Not Destiny, the Defiance. Which they just released a beta for the new Defiance, which apparently was just the old Defiance on new consoles. That's the thing. But Defiance was fun. That was actually a fun game. It never worked. The servers never could support it. It was miserable to play. But when it was working for those brief moments, it was really fun. So I can see this feeling similarly, especially in that world. My problem with any online game, though, when playing with friends, is all my friends are dicks, and it's fun and great, but you don't get as immersed in the world because you're just running around killing stuff.
Yeah,
and maybe somebody already did this mission, so you're just following them.
I think perhaps it's the people that you're playing with that are just looking for progression. They aren't looking to actually enjoy the game.
Everyone wants to play the game, but I think when you get in that road, you want everyone to have the fun that you're having. So if you've maybe played it a little bit more than your friend, you kind of want them to. Oh no, you want to see this cool stuff, and let's get past this thing. But
that's right. The people that you play with have more time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, sometimes. But that being said, that's the same thing as trying to get into EDF with you and Mark. It's I'm way behind of where the fun you're having. You tell me all these cool missions. That sounds fun.
Best
I
game
can't kill
2014.
a spider.
Best game 2014.
So Fallout Shelter.
I don't care. But it's another thing. It's like, hey, we're taking a mobile game, we're bringing it to consoles.
I guess that's the thing.
Why?
Also, I guess Fallout 76 is coming out this year.
I know. Well,
I took the bet.
It's slated to come out this year. November 14th, 2018.
It looks pretty done to me, except for maybe
Bethesda. In my experience, Bethesda's been pretty good lately, like with Fallout 4 and all that stuff. They were straight out. They were pretty good on their release date. Mm-hmm. So I trust them. But if it was any other company, I'd say it's still probably gonna be 2019.
I think I believe them when they say 2018. And from the looks of the game, mechanically, the graphics, the way the engine runs, it looks like it's done. Mm-hmm. It looks like this is what the game's going to look and feel like. It probably won't be 100% perfect. Neither was Fallout.
No, it's going to be crazy buggy.
Yeah, but the online, the servers, what the servers can support, lag, things like that. Those are the big issues that the variables that they really haven't had a chance to deal with, except maybe on ESO. I'm sure they're probably talking with those guys. Yeah. There's probably a lot of cross-pollination of how to best maintain that. And ESO runs pretty damn well. So I'm optimistic that we're getting to 2018 for that. I'm a little excited about that.
I'd be really interested to play that with some
more
friends.
Excited than Elder Scrolls Blades, the mobile game, which is amazing. It looks like it runs really well on a mobile.
It looks like it's a lot. It takes a lot of processing power, which tells me it's going to eat a lot of battery, and that's cool. But speaking as somebody who uses an iPhone and has had more than one iPhone lose a battery, a battery that just became a 20-minute battery. I'm kind of afraid of that. And then they're like, oh look, and you can play it in portrait mode because
for when you're in a meeting. When you're meeting and you don't want to pay attention. I don't know. I go to a lot of meetings. That is a thing that's
is that something that you would do? You'd be like, yeah.
People in certain companies, no, you can't have a phone out during a meeting. It's not okay because they're a little old school. But like the company I work with now and the other places are okay with you having your meetings and you're communicating with other people in the business or whatever you're doing. Or mostly people are just talking to their kids, or they're just FaceTiming with their new beaux. But
at my job, you're not allowed to use your phone while you're working.
Oh yeah, that may be a little problematic.
Yeah, I can't play Blades while I drive a taxi cab.
Maybe at a red light.
Yeah, I suppose, but
try to get an arena combat in. That was kind of neat. But that was the only thing that they mentioned that right after Fallout, and then they went into the new IPs, which I was very disappointed that there wasn't a little bit more. I would have liked to see, if not, was not expecting gameplay of Starfield, but I was expecting them to do Starfield and then show us some sort of,
at least a character.
Something. I was expecting some sort of, if not in engine, but at least cutscene based representation of what the game is or how we can expect, and maybe an example of an alien race or something. But I guess it's much further out than we anticipated. I was expecting it to be
When do you
closer.
expect? Do you think they're going to talk about Starfield next E3, or is this going to be one of those games that they don't talk about for 2 or 3 years?
It's the first time they announced it.
Yeah.
I would think that it's a next E3. I don't know what else they have to talk about, so I would think that if they had anything, they would have mentioned it. And we have a little bit more of a teaser. So I think next E3 maybe we'll get the teaser. Something?
Was it not Bethesda that said that, like back when? Because I remember when they announced Fallout 4, they're like, "Hey, Fallout 4 is coming this year."
Mm-hmm.
And when people were talking to them about why they didn't announce it until then, Bethesda was the one that said, "Well, you see, video game production and development is really tough, and there are a lot of things that can torpedo development." And so we don't want to announce something and then have to torpedo it for some reason and have to deal with you assholes like burning down the building because you aren't getting your game that you were expecting to get because money or whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I presume that we're going to get something really intense next year for Starfield.
You think so? You think they're just holding back? They don't want to talk about it?
And then it's going to be a 2020 release. That's what I'm expecting.
That's pretty ambitious.
Or they're not going to talk about Starfield next year, and they're going to talk about it the year afterwards, and then they're going to release something.
What do they talk about next year then? What do they got?
Well, I think we're going to have another. Do you remember? Was it last year where the Bethesda conference was just like a little video where they're in an amusement park and like weird stuff was happening? And it, like, because
that's what I think. I think it's
like
more of a
Bethesda makes like 4 games, so there's going to be off years. They have to.
I think tomorrow is more likely to be an off year.
Yeah.
I think Fallout 76 is a big enough surprise, an online Fallout, and I think they talk about additions to that game, expansions to that game a lot. The next Elder Scrolls Online is doing really well.
Yeah.
So probably more to that. I think next year probably will be a quiet year, and then maybe you get a little bit more about Starfield. Because it's a big deal. Like it's the first original IP they've had since they said 25 years, but I'm assuming they're talking the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as we know, Fallout is something they acquired. But I would love it to be out sooner rather than later. I want another Bethesda game, but I don't want another Fallout game, and I actually don't really want an Elder Scrolls game, if I'm being honest. I can't think of an Elder Scrolls game that's going to be better than the past 3 games. I feel that it's a chance if they do another Elder Scrolls, it may be a little bit too actiony. I'll lose some more RPG elements. Where are they going to take us? Because the Elder Scrolls Online has taken us basically now almost all the places that are interesting that we wanted to go. We've gone to a lot of Blackmar stuff. We just went to Somerset. That was the other assumption for Elder Scrolls 6 is that we go to Somerset Isles, but now that ESO's taken us there. I really doubt that the main development team is just going to do another version of the Elves.
It's all about the stories they want to tell.
Unless I think that it's probably on hold, and it may be, I think it's probably on hold. We won't see Elder Scrolls 6 for a long time. I really think it's still a ways off, and I think they maybe do something super crazy with it. They maybe decide to do something like Fallout 76 or make it, when Elder Scrolls Online kind of dies down, maybe do like what people wanted, a multiplayer Elder Scrolls. That's not MMO style. That actually plays like Skyrim does. I don't know. This is all BS. This is all stuff that we're just wishing for.
Yep.
But it was a neat conference.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of real likable characters.
Yeah, it's been so far. I've been paying a little bit of attention to E3, watched the Microsoft conference. That was all expected stuff. They did a good job too, as far as conferences are concerned. But no amazing announcements that I was blown away by. Some stuff coming out for the games. But Bethesda did a good job. I got excited. I was entertained the entire way through. And I'm looking forward to Fallout 76, which I wasn't looking forward to up until this point.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing it with you. What I'm not looking forward to is you quitting it after a month and a half.
That's fair. I guess that's fair. But I mean, what else is there to do? We killed all the rad scorpions.
It's true.
All the super mutants are dead. I dig up. We went to like most of the mines.
The
game has to be fun.
One thing I enjoyed about the conference is the way that they did music stuff. So Andrew WK came out for the cold open, and I guess they outroed him with, the perfect song for Rage 2. And you're like, they found a song, and it went great with this, and that was cool. And then there was another game that they showed during the conference, and they had a song, or it was I think it was for Prey, and they had You Spin Me Right Round, Baby Right Round. And everybody was like, well, that I don't know why this song has to do with anything. And then they just made Fallout 76 because they heard a John Denver song. And it was literally the perfect. They're like, man, this song is great. We need to make a video game about this.
What's the next Fallout going to be? It's like, well, what songs relate to areas of the country? West Virginia.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's a really smart. It's still the heartland, not the heartland of America, but it's still it's tied to our history. Mm-hmm. The founding fathers, it still has that level, which is it's kind of what the new Fallouts have sort of tried to do. And it's in West Virginia. It seems like it's different. It's going to have a different geography to it. It's pretty. I like that things aren't blown up because I don't care. I don't want to see the same drab ruined cities. I want to see some fall trees.
Well, I mean, the most important part is that you can get there from Bethesda, Maryland, in one tank of gas. I think it's the most important thing for Bethesda Studios. They're going to set a Fallout game, and it has to be one tank of gas away from Bethesda, Maryland.
That's actually very important because that means they can go there. They can take screenshots. They can take pictures. They can understand the landscape. I mean, you're trying to be cute,
and they're not buying hotel rooms. No, they're not buying. Yeah,
it's true, and they know it. It's like when Marvel Studios talks about New York. That's why New York is so prevalent in their stories because that's where they live. That's where those studios are. So
ways.
It's very neat. I had fun. So that's the thing.
Yeah, cool. We might talk about PlayStation tomorrow, but
yeah, then we'll take a look at how this looks.
Yeah, should be fun.
Cool.
Bye.